Hey everybody, it's Bree from homemade.ourhomestead.com, and I thought today I would do a tiny house tour as well as to give you a quick overview of our property and an update on our log home build here in North Bend. Okay, so I am kind of at the corner of our property here, the farthest away from our house, and I am out by the river and by our beehive, which doesn't have a lot of activity right now because it's really cold. It started to snow here on Sunday at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and by the next morning we had almost 10 inches of snow, which we haven't had that for about 4 years. So it was kind of a surprise to everybody, but it's really beautiful out. The kids were out of school for a couple of days, so we had some fun outside, and currently the snow is still here. It's pretty cold out, the ground's still really frozen. School has reopened, so the kids are at school today. It's a beautiful day, the sun is out. It's supposed to start snowing again here by Friday, so we'll see if that actually happens. We have about 6 inches still on the ground, so yeah. So now I'm at the front face of our property, which overlooks the river. So then if I turn around, there is our house. So we purchased this house about 4 years ago, and knowing that we were going to tear it down and build our new house, we were actually supposed to start our house build about 2 years ago. We kind of started on that process. We went through a whole design phase with a different company, designing a timber frame home, and after all that was said and done, we ended up deciding that we really wanted a log house. Because of where the property's at, because it overlooks the river, we wanted something that was really rustic, and we thought a log home would be perfect. So we went back to scratch and we started over with a different contractor who specializes in building log homes here in Washington. So after about 4 months or so of designing and coming up with an idea of what we wanted, trying to keep it pretty simple, we have our house. It's drawn. We've actually started the building process, which is really nice. Felt like that day was never gonna come. Here's our camper and our tractor, which is frozen. So there is the front side of the house. Now if you pull up to our property, most people don't even realize this is a house. They built the garage portion and this shop area in front of the actual house, so it really just looks like a big garage. And then behind me is our footings that are poured and the walls that were supposed to be up and in place by today so they could pour the foundation. However, since it's frozen, that's not happening, so that's kind of been a delay. So that's kind of happened, which is unfortunate, but we can't really control the weather. So here we go. So this is the basement of our house. So it's going to be a 3-story log house, and initially we had decided against a basement, and then we kind of decided that we needed it for storage purposes and a place to keep the tractor and whatnot. So we're going to have a driveway that's going to come down into this farthest portion off, and it will be just an uncovered spot for now for the tractor. But once our home is actually finished, this house and the garage and anything related to this house has to be torn down. Now we had decided that we wanted to keep it, and we thought we would rip down the garage portion, keep the tiny house, and maybe turn it into a guest cottage. But unfortunately, because of where we're at and permitting, we are not allowed to keep it. The size of this structure plus the size of our home far exceeds the requirements that we are allowed on the lot size that we have, which is 3.5 acres. So sadly, this entire thing has to come down, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. So now I'm gonna take you into the house. So we are currently living in about 750 square feet, which is pretty small given that we moved from a 4,000 square foot home. But we've made it work. for almost 2 years now. We've been out of our other house and into this house. So we've kind of just adjusted and learned how to live more minimal in this house, and it's worked for us, but we are definitely ready for more space. So, front door. This house was built in 1963, I believe, and there was a family of 4 that lived here, built the home and lived here for many, many years. So there is the kitchen behind me and the living room. Again, it's pretty small, but we've managed to make it work. We do have a tiny TV in the corner, which came out of our camper. We don't really watch a lot of TV, so it's kind of just here just in case. And then the fireplace used to be just a brick fireplace, but I German smeared it, which I will have that tutorial if anyone is interested up on the blog, probably within the next couple of weeks. And then over here, oops, that's in the way, sorry, is just our tiny dining room table and a slider door that goes to the outside. Our really tiny kitchen. We're really tiny. I'm used to a huge kitchen. We do a lot of cooking. We usually do a ton of entertaining. So this has been a big challenge for us, is the kitchen size. There's really only enough room for one person to be in there at a time. And then awesomely enough, if you open the dishwasher, you're kind of stuck. But we've made it work. So our new kitchen's gonna be nice and really big. So we're kind of excited to have a big kitchen again. And then we only have one bathroom in this house. We have a lot of just our art and pictures and things from our last house are kind of just randomly put up on the walls in here. And the reason we did that was because we didn't want to store all these things in our storage container and run the risk of them being ruined, since they were going to be stored for so long. So our house is definitely eclectic looking right now, which has been kind of difficult, but we just made it work. Before we were actually living in this house full time, we kind of just used it as our little like vacation cabin. We would let people come out and stay out here if they needed a break from city life, or we would come out here as a family and start working to plant some trees and some blueberries and get our beehive going and all those kinds of things. So, and I'll take you on a quick tour out the back door. So this is our back deck. We have not done really any upgrades to this house at all. I mean, as you can see, it's got this really orangey colored tongue and groove cedar planked walls. And up until a few weeks ago, the fireplace kind of matched the walls, and it was just, it's really dark in this house. The lighting is very bad. There's only a few fixtures. There's not really a lot of outlets in the house. The kids' play set. This is from the back of the house. There's the river up there. So we're also pretty lucky because that huge piece of land on the other side of the river is actually like a reserve, so nobody will ever be able to build on it or do anything to it, so we're kind of excited about that. Trampoline. The kids had so much fun on that. After it snowed, we all got on there. So that was pretty fun. That noise that you hear is our heat pump outside. Right there. It's pretty noisy. And we actually used to have a garage structure right here and a shed in front of it. And slowly but surely we've been tearing down this garage structure because it was in the way of where we needed to dig out the foundation. So a couple weeks ago, my husband rented a huge excavator, cleared the land, took out the trees that we needed to take out, and then dug up all the stumps, dug out the foundation, and did all this work himself. So I'm pretty lucky that I have a guy that knows how to do all that stuff, so we didn't have to hire somebody. So kind of full circle of our property. The other corner of the property. Here's our neighbor's house. And here is our awesome view. So I feel really grateful that we were able to find this property when we did, and we had spent months looking and didn't find what we were both wanting. My husband's a fly fisherman, so he's really enjoyed living out here on the river, and we do a lot of barbecues in the summertime and have people over, and he's able to just go down to the river with the guys and head out fishing. He's teaching the kids how to fish. So if you're new to our channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and you can come along on the journey with us as we build our log home here in North Bend. You guys will get the first glimpse at where we're at in our building process. So here on our homestead, we like to upload videos twice a week on rustic living, food from scratch for a handmade home.